Hello and welcome back to the podcast Howling Around. My name is Jeroni, and today we're going to do part two of the LSD conversation technique. In the previous episode, we talked about listening, summarizing, and deepening the conversation. Now, the problem with listening, summarizing, and deepening is that at the end of a date, you might get the reaction, he gets me, which is good. But the problem here is, at the end of the date, she will say, but I don't feel like we have a good connection. Now, why is that? Well, that's actually very simple. You've been listening to her, you've been summarizing what she's been saying, you've been engaging, you've been curious, you've been deepening the conversation, but you haven't told her anything about yourself. So she doesn't really know who you are. So even if you did have a good date, she's not invested in you. You have invested in her, but she's not invested in you because you haven't shared anything of your life, anything of who you are, nothing of what you like to do, your hobbies, your job, etc., etc., or at least not enough. And today, I want to use the LSD technique, the LSD framework, to help you not only to summarize and get yourself invested in her, but also to have her invest in you by using sharing instead of summarizing. And later on, we're going to combine summarizing and sharing. So we get an LSSD framework to use on our dates. Let's break it down. The technique still is listening, summarizing, or sharing, depending on what you need during the date, and deepening the conversation. Listening, it's still the same. You listen to what she's saying carefully, you pay attention, you're an active listener. And then, instead of summarizing, you're going to share something of your own, something that resonates with the story that she's been telling you. That is important. So, if she's been talking about sports, so let's say she's been talking about her love for fitness or for the gym culture, and she's been talking about that, then you don't go, oh, that's great. I love making food. I like my job. No. You are sharing, but it has nothing to do with the story that she's been telling you. So you want to make sure that it resonates with what she's saying. So if she says something along the lines of, well, I like going to the gym and I like sports, you should add something of your own that resonates with sports or gym or working out or something that relates to it. That is important because else you always get the reaction, huh? I wasn't even talking about that. You're going in a total different direction than what I'm talking about. That's not what you want. And also, you get the deepening part. And this is where you go beyond sharing and really dig into the emotional and personal aspect of her and yourself. You want to be thoughtful in your follow up questions. And you might want to add some insight that invites her to explore more. Let's go with an example. So the example here is she says something about her love for a specific hobby. Let's say she goes, I've recently gotten into painting. It's been such a relaxing hobby, and especially after work, I like doing it. You're going to listen and you say, oh, that's awesome. Then you can ask a question, perhaps a little bit deepening, or you can summarize. So I get that you enjoy painting, it relaxes you. What kind of paintings do you like to do? Is it watercolors? Is it oils? Is it something else? And she will continue the conversation. Now you can also share something So she says, well, I've recently gotten into painting, I like it as a hobby, etc., etc. Now you're going to share something of yourself, something that has to do with a hobby, maybe something that resonates a little bit with painting. So let's say you have tried painting. You can go, well, I actually tried painting once when I was on vacation. It was a total disaster, but I learned a little bit of how to relax through it. And there's something really freeing about it, something freeing about creating something with your hands, even if it doesn't turn out really good. What is the most challenging part of painting for you? Is it the technique, or is it something about finding the right subject, or composing the right colors? Now, what you've done here is you've listened and you added something of yourself. So now she knows you're not afraid to try something new. You learned a little bit more on how to relax. You actually tried painting. You've been on vacation. That's good. So now she knows a little bit more about you. And you've deepened the conversation. So you talked a little bit about yourself. I like painting when I was on vacation, blah, blah, blah. And then you direct the story back to her. Because now you go, well, what is it that makes it so challenging for you when it comes to painting? And you deepen the conversation. And she will add a little bit more. So that's one example when, for instance, she's talking about hobbies. Let's do another example. Let's say she talks about traveling. So she goes, I love traveling, but I haven't been to many places outside of Europe. You can say something along the lines of, oh, that sounds great. Where would you like to travel to? Or tell me more. And she says, well, I really would like to go to Asia someday. You reply with listening. Oh, that sounds awesome. And now you're going to share something. You can say something along the lines of, well, I've been to Japan before and the culture there is incredible. I love the food, I love the people, everything is awesome there. It's a totally different vibe there than anywhere else that I've been. And now you're going to deepen the conversation. Let's say you would have to go to Asia on vacation. Any place in Asia. Which city would you like to visit first? And why? You see, she's been talking about traveling. You listen, you make it easy for yourself. You can just say, well, tell me more. Because the answer was pretty short. You can say why, when, etc. And then you share something about yourself. And then you deepen the conversation. So now you know a little bit about her. She knows you've been listening, you've been sharing, and you're deepening the conversation. And I can tell you, if you do these kind of things, you're going to have great conversations, and chances are that the date is going to be good. Now let's combine sharing and summarizing. Now, like I said, the problem usually is when we use LSD, when we say, well, we're listening, we're summarizing, and we're deepening the conversation. The problem is that we're not sharing enough of ourselves. It also goes the other way around, that we only share, but we're not really summarizing, so we're not really paying attention to her. So what you want to do is 50-50, I would say. You want to listen, summarize, and deepen. And when the moment is there, you want to share something. So you want to switch on and off between sharing and summarizing. It is important that you pick up a little bit on the cues. Let's look at an example. She says, I absolutely love rock music. It's my go-to genre. It's the energy, the lyrics. I just can't get enough of it. You're listening. You're a good listener. So you say, well, that's awesome. What do you like about rock music? is it the energy or is it the lyrics then? And she go, well, definitely both, but I think the emotion in the lyrics is what gets me the most. I like Pink Floyd, I like Led Zeppelin. It's just a capture of this raw feeling. And you go, you share. Oh, I get that. I grew up listening to Pink Floyd too. Wish You Were Here is one of my all time favorites. There's something so deep in the lyrics. It's like they're singing exactly what you're feeling without you even knowing it. You see that that's deep. You're sharing something of yourself, something that connects, something that relates to rock music or music in general, something that she's excited about, something that she's talking about. You can also summarize. You can say something along the lines of, so for you, it sounds like rock really speaks to you on a personal level, more than just the music itself. It's the emotional connection with the lyrics that makes it stand out for you. Boom, there you go. You summarized exactly what she's been talking about, the thing that gets her excited. So you can do it combined. You can say, well, I'm going to share something first and then I'm summarizing, or you're going to summarize and then share. So let's do it the other way around. She says, well, I absolutely love rock music. It's my go to genre, the energy, the lyrics. I can't get enough of it. And you go, that's awesome. What do you like the most about it then? Is it the energy or the emotion? And she goes, definitely both. But I think the emotion in the lyrics is what gets me. I like Pink Floyd. I like Led Zeppelin. I like this raw feeling. And you go, you summarize. Oh, so for you, it sounds like rock really speaks to you on a personal level. It's more than just the music itself. It's the emotion. It's the emotional connection with the lyrics that makes it stand out for you. And she goes, yeah, that's it. And you go, you share. I get that. I grew up to listening Pink Floyd too. You know, Wish You Were Here is one of my all-time favorites. And there's something so deep in the lyrics. Right? So you summarize, you share, and now you deepen. So the next step is, well, what's the most powerful song or the most powerful lyric that resonates with you? Because there has to be one that always hits home when you hear it. Which one is it? So now you're going a little bit deeper, right? You're basically bonding over the fact that you both like rock music. Now, you can only connect on a deeper level if you're willing to go deeper. If she tells you, well, I really like rock music, and you go, oh, that's awesome. What kind of job do you do? Then you're missing all the opportunities to actually connect and to find something that really connects both of you, because now you figure out you both like rock music, you both are into the same bands and so on. So you gotta pay attention. You have to. Let's break down what is going on. So she says, I absolutely love rock music. It's my go to genre. I like the energy. I like the lyrics. I just can't get enough of it. Listening. Why does listening really help with creating good connection? You're focusing on her words without rushing in to respond. You're asking her about her thoughts on rock music. You're paying attention to the details that she's offering you by acknowledging the parts of her statement, things that resonate with you. And you're showing that you care and you are in the present moment. Why does it help to create connection? Just like we said in the previous episode, active listening is a foundation of emotional connection. You're making her feel heard, you're making her feel valued, and it sets the tone for good conversation. It builds rapport, it builds trust, because you are showing that you genuinely care about what she's talking about and you genuinely want to know more about her. And in this moment, you're not thinking about how to respond next. You're completely tuned into her. And it's super basic, but it's so crucial. And you need to do this. You really need to learn how to listen. Don't wait till it's your turn to speak. Listen, engage, be tuned into her. So you listen and you go, that's awesome. What do you like the most about rock music? Is it the energy? Is it the emotion of the lyrics? And then you're going to share something. Why does sharing help to create chemistry? Well, now you're offering something personal that connects to her interests. And she will go, oh, that's so awesome. We like the same bands. We like the same music. We like the same movies. We like the same sports. Oh my gosh. That can only happen if you share something personal and if you can make it happen in such a way that it actually connects to what she's talking about. Because if you don't, at the end of the day, she will go, well, we don't have any connection. There's no rapport. I don't know what movies he likes. I don't know what music he likes. I don't know if there's anything that he likes or if there's anything that we have in common. Very important. People love having things in common because that's something that bonds people. So you're opening up about your own experiences, in this case with the rock music. It shows vulnerability by sharing a memory that relates to what she's saying. And sharing is a great way to foster some emotional intimacy. And when you reveal something personal, especially related to something that she enjoys, it shows that you're not just interested in her opinions, but you also want to form a genuine connection because you're sharing your own experiences. You're trying to latch on, you're trying to hook on to the things that she's saying. You're trying to make that connection, you're trying to build that bridge. You like music? Oh, I like music. You like movies? I like movies. You're trying to find common ground. It also signals that you are not a passive listener. Like we said, important, you are an active listener, you're engaged in the conversation, and you're willing, no, you dare to connect on a deeper level. And that is something that increases attraction and chemistry. I promise you this, man. At the end of the day, she will go, oh, wow, he was a really good listener. He was paying attention. We have so much in common. It was a great date. I really want to see him again. That's what you want to hear at the end of a date. And you can do that by making sure that you have a genuine connection, by tuning in, by being curious, by listening, and by sharing and summarizing and deepening the conversation. So you share something. And we also have the summarizing part. Why does this help? What is going on here? Well, you're reflecting back on the core of what she just shared. You're summarizing her main point, in this case, that rock music, especially the lyrics, resonate with her on an emotional level. And this shows you've been actively listening and you understand what she's saying. And why does this help to create a good connection? Well, summarizing validates her feelings. When you reflect what she said in a very simple way, it signals that you understand her. It signals that you appreciate her thoughts, her emotions. It shows that you understand and appreciate her sharing stuff with you. And like we said in the previous episode, it gives you, but also her, the chance to clarify or expand on what she's been saying in case you were off a little bit. And it opens the door for deeper engagement. And that creates a feeling of mutual understanding. So by summarizing, you're signaling that you're not just hearing the words, but you're truly processing what she's saying. And that's sexy for a woman. And the fourth part, if we use listening, summarizing, sharing, and deepening, then the fourth part is deepen or deepening the conversation. And what's going on here? Well, now you have to ask a thoughtful question. And thoughtful question can only happen if you've been paying attention, If she's been talking about rock music and you just divert the conversation by asking her, so what is your favorite food? Well, that's not a thoughtful question. It's a good question to get a conversation going or change the topic, but that's not really the question that you want to hear. Let's say you've been talking to someone really passionate about sports, and they go, "So, what kind of job do you do?" You're gonna think, "Woman, I've been talking about something that I'm really passionate about, and you just want to switch it to my job." Well, obviously, she doesn't like or she's not interested in what you're talking about. But that was a good question, but it wasn't very thoughtful. It is not the follow up question that someone needs to ask after you've been talking passionately about something. And you're going to be a thoughtful person. You're going to be a good date and you're going to be thoughtful. So you ask her a thoughtful question that invites her to explore more, of her feelings, in this case about rock music. And it takes the conversation beyond the surface. It encourages her to open up to you because you give her the space to open up, and it will help you get a deeper connection. So, why does this create chemistry? By deepening the conversation, you're showing that you're interested in her on a meaningful level. You're not just talking about surface level stuff out of enjoyment for rock music, but you're talking about what it really means to her, what it really means to you when you're sharing. This is the point where chemistry really starts to build. And god damn it, if you are on a date, you want to have chemistry, so you gotta go deeper in the conversations. You have to. It's not enough to just look good. You can say, I like him, I like her. It was a good date. That's lust, that's not chemistry. Chemistry is built on a deeper level. So you gotta deepen the conversations if you ever want to have some good chemistry going on. And when someone opens up about their personal connection, especially to something that they love, it creates a moment of vulnerability, a moment of intimacy. So you go beyond small talk to explore something that is meaningful, in this case to her, meaningful to you. Because if she's a good conversationalist, she will do the same thing. She will listen, she will share, she will summarize, and she will deepen the conversation as well. And this will strengthen the bond, and that's what you're looking for, and you get some chemistry going. And chances are, if you do this right, you will have good conversations, you will have good dates. Chances are you will get second dates and third dates and whatever it is that you're looking for. Why does all of this work? Or how does all of this work? Like we said, we have listening, sharing and summarizing, and deepening. Once again, listening, it makes sure that she feels heard. You're focusing on what she's saying, you're showing genuine interest, and it lays the groundwork for trust. If you share, you open up about your own experiences, which create a two-way flow, and it invites her to see you as a relatable, genuine person. Summarizing means you're validating her thoughts, her feelings, by reflecting them back to her. It shows empathy and it strengthens emotional connection. And if you deepen the conversation, you're taking the conversation below surface level by asking something personal, something meaningful, something thoughtful. It deepens the emotional bond. It makes the conversation feel way more significant, and you will build chemistry. So, overall, listening, sharing, summarizing, and deepening will help you transform simple conversations into deeper connections, basically. So, if you're ever stuck in a conversation or if you're going on a date and you don't know how to approach the conversation, you just ask a question, you start listening, you summarize, if you can, you share something, and then you deepen. The only thing that you really need to do is listen very well. so you can pick up on the things that you need to ask more about. So LSSD is a great way to help you on your dates. So what I want you to do in the upcoming week is to use LSSD. Whenever you're having a conversation or you ask someone a question, a coworker, a family member, a friend, you just ask them a question, you listen, you respond by summarizing, you listen a little bit more, you share something, and then you deepen the conversation. Just like the previous episode, if you apply this, you will get very good at it. And it will help you tremendously on your dates. I promise you that. So good luck practicing the framework LSSD, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye bye.